Hello, my name is David Corcoran and welcome to today's issue of Breaking News. It is July 31 and it's a pleasure to have your company. If this is your first Breaking News episode, we do encourage you to go back and have a look at some of the other district news that we've shared in the last 12 months or so. Tonight, we want to look at new members and really we're thinking about what inspired you to become a Toastmaster. Perhaps you remember your own story. And if you're watching on, we are live and we encourage you to leave comments and to interact with us and our guests that we have tonight. But before we jump into meeting some of our newest members of District 109, I would like to send out a short reminder about our club officer training. So if you are a new officer, this is the month to make sure that you are being trained. And so if you're not aware, in August, we have the summer club officer training. So August 31 is when you have to be registered and done by. I've already attended training with Margarita, our program quality director, and it was informative and insightful for me as a VPE of my club. In Division C, August 11, you see there is training. Division F, there is training on August 14, and Division E, August 25. So if you've not already registered officially for COT and you are a club officer, please do. Don't rely on others in your team. You do need a minimum of 4 officers to tick that DCP, but in order to really be an effective club, I think everyone needs to be trained. So tonight we're thinking about, as I said, our new members. And as I said, remembering what your Toastmasters experience was like. Perhaps you, like others, get asked from time to time, what is Toastmasters? So having a look at our Toastmasters.org website, I see here for nearly 100 years, Toastmasters International has helped millions of people to become confident communicators, public speakers, and leaders. The Toastmasters network of clubs and its Learn by Doing program were created to help you gain the skills needed to achieve your personal and professional goals. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and I know certainly I've developed myself personally and professionally. But maybe as guests, you've come to a club or you have guests regularly come to your club and they think, well, what is it? What's in it for me? So again, on the website, it says Toastmasters will give you the skills and confidence you need to effectively express yourself in any situation. Whether you are a tenured manager, student, young professional, someone looking to advance their career, or someone hoping to make an impact in your community, Toastmasters is the most efficient, supportive, enjoyable, and affordable way of gaining great communication skills. Now, can that be said for your club? Also, thinking about your clubs, do you adhere to the club experience? So hopefully all of our Toastmasters clubs provide feedback, an opportunity to take on leadership, have an interactive learning environment, a hybrid environment that we're really practicing here, access to mentors, assuming club roles, and of course, practice and giving impromptu speeches. This is what our club experience is meant to offer. So I do hope that you are doing that in your club and obviously creating that new experience to help people come firstly as guests and then become members. And every member is different and every member has a story to tell. So tonight, I'd like to invite 2 of our newest district members. And when we put the call out, the criteria was they'd been a member for less than 6 months. And we're going to hear from 3 new members tonight. The first 2 are live, and then we have a recording a little later. So please welcome to the broadcast studio, Toastmaster Dor and Toastmaster Jacqueline. How are you both this evening?
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me here in our broadcast studio, and welcome to Toastmasters. So you've fulfilled the criteria. You've both been Toastmasters for less than 6 months. But before we get into your experience, I'd like you just to introduce yourselves and just tell us what you do professionally or, in what you do in life. So Toastmaster Dor, would you like to go first?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, David. So like you said, my name is Dor Eldal, and I'm from Israel. I'm a PhD student in the field of public diplomacy. I'm a mother of 3 children, and after 20 years, I decided to close an office I founded, and in the field of public relation and communication. And because the corona epidemic, so I decided to close it and to be just a student.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And a Toastmaster now. Toastmaster Jacqueline, what about you and your professional background? Please introduce yourself.
So my name is Jacqueline Munoz. I come from Mexico, and I am we could say that a small entrepreneur. I'm having right now a small business in English and Spanish teaching. I'm also a photographer, and I'm covering some events, and in between some other things running on their own. So.
Okay, wonderful, great. So very, very skilled, and welcome to you both. So maybe your fellow club members get to know a little bit more about you from tonight's episode. So I'd like to firstly ask Toastmaster Jacqueline, so how did you hear about Toastmasters?
Well, actually, because of a really good friend of mine, he has been participating in the Toastmasters for more than 1 year now. And when he was telling me about the Toastmasters, I was like, oh, actually, it's a really good idea. It's a really good idea to learn about yourself, to learn about how to develop yourself, and to learn from others. So I was trying to be part of the Toastmasters time ago, but because of different things, including the pandemic and then my master's degree, then I was like, okay, now is the right time. Pandemic is over. My master is over. I want to be part of the Toastmasters.
Okay. Wow. And Toastmaster Dor, what about you? How did you hear about Toastmasters?
Well, so I think it's a good story because I'm part of a group on Facebook that the group is for researcher, and I found that someone asked about how we handle with the language of the English language, and most of the students wrote that it's difficult, but they are working too hard. And one of the followers wrote that she's part of Toastmaster Club, and it's a wonderful way to use the language and to practice. And I start to follow her, and found that she's really do a great job on her club. So I decided to ask her how can I join to the club, and that was my first step to be part of the club.
Okay, so that was your first connection, and it's remiss of me. Which clubs are you both with? So, Dor, which club are you with? Let's give a shout out to your fellow club members.
The name of our club is part of Haifa University.
Okay.
So I'm belonging to another university, but I decided to take part in this club. And I also try to open this club in my university, but for now nothing happened. So I'm not going to wait. So that's why I prefer to be in the famous club here in Israel.
Okay, wonderful. And Jacqueline, which club are you with?
I believe I'm in the 501. I just enrolled 1 month ago, and I'm learning a couple of things. So yes, is the one that is in the center next to Stephansplatz.
Okay, in Vienna, Austria.
In Vienna, yes.
For our district. So our district covers many parts.
Yeah, exactly. The first district, and it's the 551 group.
It is, yeah, Vienna Toastmasters Club 551. Very good. So excellent. So Dor, you connected via this Facebook group, and you joined and connected. But did you also visit any other clubs before you visited Haifa?
It's the only one that I take part of, and I didn't. But I heard from some friends that it could be really a good opportunity to join to other club. I will do it in the future, but now I prefer to to stay only with the Haifa club.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I've been a member of the same club for 7 years now, so it's certainly. I think once you've been in a club, your home club is your home. I've been in other clubs, but yeah, once you're in your home club. So, Jacqueline, did you you had a personal connection to your club, but
Yes.
did you try out any others, or did you visit other clubs to see if it's different?
So my friend is actually not in the group, and my friend belongs to other group. I decided to go to a totally different group, yeah, I went to this club because first of all the address, so it was kind of easy to reach it, and it was important to me personally that, and secondly, well, the area where it is located. I love the experience I'm having when I'm walking towards Toastmasters. But once I was there, the people that I met there, it was just amazing, the connection I got with them, and I saw very professional people, very interesting people, very friendly. I found myself really welcome. That didn't make sense to go and waste the time somehow. So I was like, this is my group, this is my Toastmasters.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. So, and that really ties into my next question. What made you to decide to become a member? So location was key for you. It was the group and then the welcoming spirit, but also seeing people with a professional level of speaking and leadership qualities. Was there anything else that you would say added to your decision to join Vienna Club 551?
Exactly, that's what you just mentioned. I have seen really talented people, and in this time when I went, it was a special meeting, and some Toastmasters who have been belonging to the group for I don't know many years, they were giving speeches, and I was like, I was really inspired. So I want to be like them. I want to learn to communicate in that way.
Yeah,
They were
wonderful.
expressing amazing. So that's why I was like, okay, I would just enroll.
Great. So good advice out there to all clubs. Have special meetings, invite guests, and that may also be really important as a way to convert people, to bring them into the Toastmasters spirit. Dor, what was the deciding factor for you? What was that moment where you decided to become a member?
I think that the experience of the members are important for me because I really like to the diversity that there are some members that in different age or in a different part of the world, and they bring their experience. So that's I think that's the reason that I'm there. I like it. I like the diversity and the experience.
Wonderful. So it sounds like a place where both of you can really learn and grow, where you see people doing things that you want to do or that you can do, but having that sort of step-by-step guide. So how would you describe the atmosphere of the club? Jacqueline, would you like to go first?
Well, even the guests, all of us there were really relaxed. But even the guests, I was surprised that all those that were just participating as their first day, they were really relaxed and welcomed, and it means that the atmosphere is amazing because you were feeling like part of the group since the very beginning. That's the way I felt.
Was that the same for you, Dor, or was it something different?
No, it's really the same.
Yeah.
the atmosphere there, it's really, we are very happy to take part, and sometimes we are waiting for that. So it's really the same.
Wonderful. Yeah. And a Facebook user, I'm sorry, their name doesn't show up, but you have an excellent experience in TM. Love it. Locations, people, professional speakers, wonderful. A great comment. And I know that when I joined, certainly the idea is that you should be able to go to each other's clubs if you wanted to visit Haifa, Jacqueline, or come to Vienna, Dor, and have the same experience. And so I think that's one of the great things that nearly 100 years ago, when Ralph Smedley designed Toastmasters and came up with the concept, it really should be about community, about coming together in the spirit of goodwill and of seeing each other develop in a professional and positive way. And of course, you've both had that club experience, and that is where we have the roles and the systems and the structure that comes into Toastmasters. So if I was visiting either of your clubs, I would be able to have the same experience as I have in my own club, for instance. So I'd like to ask you, so far as younger members, in terms of time, what roles have you taken on so far? And maybe, how did you feel? So I know we chatted just before. So Dor, you go first, because you've taken on a few roles, as I understand, if you don't mind. So yeah, what have you done, and what did you enjoy the most about those roles?
I enjoy to take part and to sometimes to lead something. I think that the area of a table topic is really something that I really like it. I'm excited to do it, and I think about it before I start, and it's something that really important to me to lead it like a master, and to ask the right questions.
So you've already been table topics master.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wow. Yes. Ask those questions. Brilliant.
Yes. And I hope that one day I could also be the Madam Toastmaster. So
evening. Yeah.
One of my goal.
Yeah. Great. That's a great goal. I think if you can do that within the first 3 months of your journey with Toastmasters, on the first 3 to 6 months, then you're in the right place. And it sounds like you've already building up some experience on your way, which is great. Jacqueline, what about roles in the club that you've taken on?
Well, I took the counter, but because somehow I was waiting to learn a little bit about other roles. But once I was there, I was asked to be part of this role. I have to confess that I was not really sure if I should go for a role right away or to learn a little bit. That was my initial idea, but I was amazed that the Toastmasters welcomed me to be part of it, and I shouldn't be afraid, because somehow I was like, okay, I have no idea how this could be, and they were like, no problem, we guide you, and I really liked it.
Yeah, that's great. So what would you say, Jacqueline, to a guest thinking about becoming a member when it comes to roles? Would you tell them to wait, or would you tell them to get into it?
No, go for it. Just go for it. Do not think too much. Just go for it. If you have questions, ask. That will be the
Yeah, that's really wonderful. And I can honestly say both of you, it sounds like are already really getting into the Toastmasters spirit. And if you haven't heard, somebody just said in TM, you learn by doing. Absolutely right. And there's always someone who's done it before. And so putting your hand up and saying, I need some help, or can you help me? Can you guide me? I have a question, especially if you're an evaluator for the first time and you've got that break period, or just as you perhaps have both observed, there may be a structure that you can follow. So when you're the R counter, you speak at the beginning, you speak at the end. Same with grammarian, timekeeper, ballot counter. These are smaller roles where you have a mini speech to give, and you can give that regularly. Or being Toastmaster, Table Topics Master of the Evening is a great place, because then you get to ask the questions, and then you can listen to the answers and sit back a little bit. So I was actually debating with some of my club members the other night. We were having a social drink, and someone said, no, hang on. Timekeeper is one of the hardest roles. So I don't know if you've both been timekeeper yet, but I tend to agree. And he convinced me that you have to keep the time, because sometimes you're listening to these great speeches and then, you get caught, your ear gets caught over here when you've got to focus and then give the timing for the green, the yellow, and the red card, of course. So there's always things to remember with each role. But I'm so pleased to hear that you've both already jumped in. So what would you like to achieve with Toastmasters? You've come as guests, you've become members, you've gotten involved. Maybe you've seen others doing things. So yeah, what would you like to do? Toastmaster Door. Yeah.
First, I hope that one day I will be like the native members that are part in my club. Mm-hmm. And as I said, I hope that I also could be the Madam Toastmaster, and I will handle and could manage with all the stuff.
I have no doubt you will. Absolutely. Yeah, great. And I guess when you've achieved that, let's just do a mini moment here. When you've achieved that Toastmaster of the evening of your club, and you use the gavel and you say, that's it. Thanks very much. Have a good night, everyone. How do you think you'll feel?
Wow. I think that I feel that I'm almost a native.
Great. I'm sure that'll feel good. Jacqueline, what about you and your journey? What would you like to get out and achieve in being a Toastmaster?
Well, the thing is that I have been told that I'm good at communicating to people, that I'm good at socializing and so on. And some people even told me that maybe I should try such a things. But it's not the same to talk to a person, to a little group, than to talk to an audience. And I think, I would like to understand where could I go with this? The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit, and I have so much to learn that I believe it's not that easy to communicate in front of an audience with all these fears that we have when we need to communicate the right message. So it's totally different experience than to talk to a couple of people, and that's why I believe I'm going to learn a lot in these Toastmasters. Go against my own fears, I think, is one of my goals.
That's great. I want to congratulate you both before we finish up, because really this is a new idea, this online experience, being on a YouTube episode, broadcast across the district. So if only we could give you a Pathways tick to say, yep, you've done it. But really, thank you for being part here as new members. I'd like to invite you back, maybe in 6 to 12 months, and hear more about your experiences. If you're interested, come on and tell us that you've just been Toastmaster of the evening, or Jacqueline, that you've been the Table Topics Master or Toastmaster, or you ran the whole meeting, and what experiences have you gained in this time to really inspire other people as well. So I'd like to give you the floor one final time in any language you wish to speak. I'd like you just to say something to your members, a quick hello or something to bring us home. So Jacqueline, would you like to go first?
What could I say? Well, en español, quizás, quiero desearles a todos muy buena suerte y hasta la vista, baby.
Wonderful. So many of our members, I'm sure, speak Spanish, which is great. So Spain is not in or Mexico is not in our district, but still wonderful. We encourage language and diversity and inclusivity on this program. So thank you, Jacqueline. Dua, would you like to go?
Yes, thank you. So I will move to Hebrew. אז אני שמחה מאוד להיות חלק ממועדון הטוסטמאסטר שלנו בחיפה, ואני ממליצה, אבל ממש ממליצה לקחת חלק בסיפור הזה. זה סיפור שבאמת מתחיל ויש לו המשכים, ואם אתם רוצים באמת לשפר את השפה שלכם, ולהגיע ל-level הזה שנמצאים בו החברים שלנו, אז אתם מוזמנים. תודה רבה.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it. I read body language and I coach in body language. So I can always tell, like beautiful, lovely. And I'm sure your members will understand and appreciate those messages. So thank you both for being on Breaking News tonight. So we'll say good night and all the best. Take care.
Thank you.
So there you have it, two of our newest members. And as I said, we have a third member who's also a part of, we recorded something this morning. So inclusivity and diversity is a major part of what we want to achieve across the public relations, certainly, but in District 109 in this year. So Breaking News, as you know, will now be in different languages, and we're still on the hunt. So if you are an Italian speaker, Bulgarian, Turkish, French, Macedonian, Slovenian, or Maltese speaker, I want to hear from you. Please contact d109prm@gmail.com. We really want to encourage content in all of these languages that I won't speak, of course, but we will find reporters and anchor people who really can share and bring on guests to really enliven the spirit of inclusivity across our District 109. So to bring not quite to the end, I'll come back at the end, but I'd now like to share with you a wonderful interview with Toastmaster and Area Director Laor, interviewing Toastmaster Yasmin.
ושלום יזמין, נעים מאוד להכיר אותך סוף סוף.
שלום, נעים מאוד.
אני שמעתי מדייוויד שאת טוסטמאסטר כבר במשך כבר 3 חודשים, אז קודם כל אני רציתי לשאול, קודם כל, אם את יכולה לספר קצת על עצמך, ואיך הגעת לטוסטמאסטר, איך שמעת עלינו?
אז ככה, אני יסמין אדואן, אני קלינאית תקשורת במקצוע שלי, אני עובדת בקופת חולים מאוחדת ובקליניקה פרטית, מטפלת בילדים עם קשיים בשפה, בתקשורת ובדיבור, ואני חוקרת את תחום האוריינות והשפה. ואיך הגעתי לטוסטמאסטרס? אז אני השתתפתי בפגישה כזאת של Speaks English באוניברסיטת חיפה, כחלק מפרויקט של דוקטורנטיות מובילות, והציגו את התוכן של מה זה טוסטמאסטרס ולמה כדאי להשתתף בו. מי שהציג את התוכן הזה היו 2 סטודנטיות דוקטורנטיות מובילות, לי צרפתי וקרן הראל,
כן.
ודרכם התחלתי באמת לשמוע על הטוסטמאסטר.
כן, אני זוכר את האופן האוס הזה, אני גם הייתי שם, זה קרן ולי, שניהן בחיפה טוסטמאסטר, זה מועדון שלי. ובאמת השאלה הבאה שלי, כדי שנדע באיזה מועדון טוסטמאסטר את משתתפת, באמת. את בחיפה, מודיעין או ירושלים?
אני נמצאת במודיעין. התחברתי למודיעין, זה היה מסיבות טכניות שהשעות התאימו לי, ואחרי שיחה עם לי, לא רציתי לוותר על ההשתתפות בטוסטמאסטרס, כי בשעות של חיפה זה לא הסתדר לי, אז אני דרכם יצרתי קשר עם נחום, שהוא בעצם מנהל את הקבוצה של מודיעין, ודרך שיחה טלפונית איתו הוא גם הסביר על המטרות של טוסטמאסטרס מודיעין, ואיך הדברים מתנהלים שם, והלוז שלהם, ובאמת התחברתי מאז לקבוצה.
מעולה, ואת אומרת שאת מתחברת לקבוצה, ומה היית אומרת שבאמת משהו באטמוספירה שאת מרגישה שאת מתחברת אליו, או משהו אחר, מה היית אומרת שבאמת את הכי מתחברת אליו?
אז ככה, הקבוצה של טוסטמאסטרס מודיעין הייתה לי מאוד חיובית, חברי הקבוצה קיבלו גם אותי וגם את שאר האורחים והחברים בהמשך בכבוד, בהכלה, באמפתיה, באמת הרבה אכפתיות, ואני מרגישה מאוד נוח להיות בקבוצה הזאת, נוח מאוד לתקשר איתם, יש תחושה שהם נמצאים שם בשביל לעזור, לקדם ולתמוך אחד בשני, אז האטמוספירה היא מאוד ככה נינוחה וכיפית, ואני מאוד מרוצה, אני לא מכירה עוד מועדונים אחרים, אבל מהמועדון שאני נמצאת בו אני אשמח להמשיך את דרכי שם.
מעולה. וזה ממש טוב לשמוע, והדרך שלך, מה בסופו של דבר, איך את רואה שאת באמת מתקדמת בזה? 3 חודשים זה לא המון זמן, אבל זה כבר מספיק זמן כדי לראות איפה אנחנו כבר התחלנו. האם את מרגישה, יש לך את התחושה הזאת, או שעוד לא?
בתחושה שלי אני עוד בשלבי למידה, גם למידה איך המפגשים מתנהלים, וגם למידה על התפקידים שיש בקבוצה, כי ישנם כמה תפקידים, עוד לא לקחתי תפקיד, אני ככה לומדת לאט לאט ונכנסת בקצב שלי לקבוצה, ומה שיפה בקבוצה, שהקבוצה מתאימה את עצמה גם לקצב של כל משתתף. אז אם הקצב שלי קצת איטי, יש לי גם את הזמן לקחת אותו ולאט לאט ללמוד ולצבור ביטחון לקחת תפקידים, כמו התפקיד של טיימר, כמו התפקיד של הגרמריאן, evaluator, אז אני בכיוון, ואני מאוד אשמח שבקרוב אני כן אתחיל לקחת תפקידים, ולהיות יותר פעילה בקבוצה.
לפעמים צריך פשוט איך שאומרים, פשוט לצלול לתוך המים העמוקים וזהו, לעשות את זה, כן, להיות טוסטמאסטר of the day, או ערכה, טוב, זה בא עם קצת יותר ניסיון, אבל זה בסדר, זה, כמו שאמרת, זה אני חושב שאני מסכים איתך, שזה הולך בקצב שלך, זה מה שבאמת מפריד את טוסטמאסטרס מארגונים אחרים. לגמרי. והשאלה הבאה שלי באמת זה, האם את כבר נתת נאום למשל, או שאת עוד מחכה לנאום, לתת את האייסברייקר שלך?
אז אני קבעתי את הנאום הראשון שלי לעוד חודשיים, יש לי ככה את הזמן גם להכין אותו, אני שמחה שיש לי גם מנטורית מהקבוצה, שתעזור לי להכין את הנאום הראשון שלי, ואני בטוחה ככה שמהיום ועד הנאום, יהיה לי הרבה תרגול והרבה הזדמנויות לעבוד גם על שפת הגוף שלי מול קהל, גם על הארגון של הנאום עצמו, ולצבור את הביטחון לבוא ולעמוד מול קהל ולהציג באנגלית, שהיא שפה זרה, מדובר בשפה שלישית מבחינתי, אחרי ערבית ואחרי עברית, אז זה אתגר בפני עצמו, אבל התחושה שאני קרובה לזה ושאני מתקדמת כל הזמן.
מעולה, מה שאני גם עוד רציתי לשאול זה, מה בסופו של דבר את רואה שאת תקבלי מזה, או איך לנאום, או אולי איך זה הולך בחיים האישיים, או מקצועיים, או איפה את רואה שזה עוזר לך?
זה יעזור לי, אני חושבת שלהציג מול קהל זו משימה מאתגרת, וחשוב שהיא תעשה בצורה אפקטיבית ביותר, ויש פה הזדמנות ללמוד אסטרטגיות ולתרגל את העמידה הזאת מול קהל, כי בטוסטמאסטרס יש לך את הקהל כל הזמן, ואתה מדמיין אותו. אז גם ברמת השפה אני מאוד רוצה להגיע לשיפור ביכולת ההאזנה שלי, ביכולת הדיבור שלי בשפה האנגלית, וגם ליצור איזושהי אינטראקציה עם הקהל, וללמוד את שפת הגוף, ולהעלות את המודעות שלי לעמידה מול קהל, לשפה של הגוף ולתקשורת איתו. אז זה תהליך מאוד אינטראקטיבי, ואני מאוד מעניין אותי שכל התהליך הלימדתי הזה קורה בתוך קבוצה מאוד מעניינת של אנשים שמגיעים ממקומות שונים בעולם, מרקעים שונים, ויש חיבור שזה שיח קבוצתי ושיח אינטלקטואלי, וזה מאוד מוצא חן בעיניי בטוסטמאסטר.
אני מסכים איתך, כן, ואני חושב שבהחלט הקבוצות שלנו, במיוחד בארץ, הן כנראה הכי מגוונות שאני ראיתי, אני באמת, בגלל שאני הייתי בהמון מועדונים, אני השתתפתי וראיתי שבארץ זה באמת מכל המקורות החיים, מכל העדות, מכל העולם אפילו מגיעים אלינו, תלוי באיזה מועדון אנחנו.
לגמרי.
לגמרי. והאם יש משהו שאת היית רואה שיכול להשתפר בתוך טוסטמאסטרס עצמו, לפחות אולי במודיעין, בישראל, לא יודע, בסוג איך שזה עובד, או שאת באמת נהנית מזה, כאילו עד הסוף בלי שום הערות בינתיים.
בינתיים אני עוד בשלב הזה של ההתחלה, ואני בינתיים רואה את החיובי. הייתי מאוד רוצה ככה להרגיש עם עוד אורחים חדשים, כי אני נכנסתי עם מעט אורחים לקבוצה של טוסטמאסטרס, ויש תחושה שאם היו עוד אורחים שככה התלוו אליי, זה היה ככה עוזר לחוויה הזאת, של כמה אורחים ביחד, שנכנסים ולאט לאט לומדים גם בקצב שלהם. אבל אני מאוד נהנית שיש גם אנשים שבשלבים מאוד מתקדמים בטוסטמאסטרס, ומהם רק אפשר ללמוד, ומבחינתי השראה.
נו, אז זאת אומרת שבהמשך כבר את תהיי השראה לדור הבא, אפשר להגיד. בגלל שזה, אני תמיד אומר יש כמה דורות בתוך טוסטמאסטרס, תמיד יש את ה-old guard ויש את ה-new guard ויש את ה-middle guard, וזה מה שהכי חשוב, שכאילו איך לתקשר בין כולם.
ואני ממש רואה את עצמי ככה לטווח ארוך, באמת פעילה יותר ויותר בקבוצה, ומקווה שנוכל לעזור לעוד אנשים שמצטרפים, להיות חלק ולהרגיש נוח בקבוצה הזאת. אולי
בהמשך גם תהיי חלק מההנהלה. מה-executive committee.
אני פתוחה לגמרי.
אני בטוח שאת תוכלי. אני חושב שהזמן שלנו עוד מעט פה מסתיים, אני רואה שפה יש איזה 9 דקות, אז קודם כל תודה יסמין, אני באמת שמח לראות שאת נהנית ושאת נשארת וממשיכה באמת to take part, כן? וזה הכי חשוב, בגלל שבטוסטמאסטרס, ככל שיותר שמים, ככל שיותר מקבלים. אז באמת תודה.
תודה לך על ההזדמנות.
כמובן. ואני גם רוצה להגיד תודה לדיוויד מהחדשות, over and back to you, David.
So there you have it. Thank you to Toastmaster Laor and Toastmaster Yasmin. Yasmin being one of our newest members, and that's a very special interview for those of you watching who speak Hebrew. And of course, to our Israeli Toastmasters clubs, we welcome you, and it's wonderful to hear your words throughout the district. So to end off, we've got new members tonight. We've listened to them. We've heard their stories. And if you've got new members in your clubs, make sure that their club experience is absolutely fantastic. Maybe your special meeting is that thing that moves a guest to a new member. So if you've got any thoughts, add them to the chat, or certainly use Facebook and bring some forward, some of your suggestions forward about how you can convert more people to becoming members of our brilliant Toastmasters community. And I think remembering back to your own experience is crucial there, to think about what really inspired you. So let's finish with weather now to round off this episode of Breaking News. In Athens, it's going to be raining and 34, Ankara 34 and sunny, Jerusalem 32 and sunny, in Ljubljana some cloudy cover there but sunny and 32, Nicosia 38 and sunny, Rome 35 and sunny, in Sofia 27 cloudy but sunny, Birkirkara 33 and sunny, and 28 in Villach, but with some cloud and sun. Same in Zurich, and a high there of 29 in Zurich. So my name is David Corcoran. It's been a pleasure to bring you another episode of Breaking News. And please, if you are a speaker of one of those languages and you'd like to do what I do, then we'd like to offer you the floor and give you a chance to really enhance your Toastmaster skills in a whole new area. And perhaps you might find that this is something you really enjoy and it becomes a regular part of your life. So please get in touch with us at d109prm@gmail.com or through Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. So that's all from me. Have a good night, and we'll see you soon.